Well, you only get one opportunity to sell your practice, and so you've got to get it right if you're going to maximise the returns on that practice for the years of work that you've put into it. I've been involved in selling practices for over 35 years, both my own practices but mainly as part of the VBA, selling practices on behalf of practice owners. There have been dramatic changes in the veterinary practice market over the last 15 years, and this is due to primarily the development of the corporate practices and also to the lack of graduates who are prepared to undertake the responsibilities of ownership. And so you'll find now that the corporate practice is actively going after practices where the owners are either looking to retire or alternatively just getting to a stage of their life where the actual responsibilities of running a business with the pressures of today is getting a bit too much, and I know the position. I've been exactly in that position myself. Well, my first practice group was a partnership, and that was sold within the partnership system. My second group was a limited company which I set up, and that was a very large practice, and it got to a point whereby I was looking as a route to exit and the corporates were present, and I decided I would go that route. And so the negotiations I had with the corporates obviously taught me a lot on the process of selling to a limited company to the corporate practices, and I've been putting that to use within the veterinary business agency. At the moment there are 4 major corporates and a number of smaller corporate style companies with equity funding. But the 4 major corporates, 3 of those are what you would call the consolidators. They actually will buy practices which are actively trading, take them over and continue on and just bring them into their fold. The other type of corporate will tend to be the joint venture, which will open up practices often in new areas as opposed to buying them, obviously then diluting the market. Well, the unsolicited offer is very common now, so often the corporate will make an approach to you and request some accounts. Obviously they won't make an offer without the accounts, but they'll produce an offer as a response to the account. My attitude to that really is always to say, just hold on, just take your time, don't jump into any response at all. Absorb what's there and get some professional advice on whether that offer is reasonable or within the market values that are there at the moment. Well, if you've been approached, obviously the corporate practice will have had some information from you, some financial information on which to base their offer. And that offer may be within the market range, but could be well below the maximum you could get. And the only way really to maximise your result is, first of all, you need more than one person after it. And as I mentioned before, there's at least 3 corporates looking, and often another 2 or 3 who could be well looking in your area as well. So the first thing is to ensure you get more people after it. But as well, you've got to revalue the practice professionally, so somebody can look at that practice, whether you're incorporated or a sole trader, and look at the value of that practice and see if what's been offered is reasonable and sensible, and then move forward from there. And obviously the veterinary business agency can do that. That's what our job is. The fees are based upon the increase we would get in your original offer. So whatever that offer was, any increase that we would obtain, we would charge our fees, would be based on a percentage of that increase. So whatever you get at the end with us, it's always on an increased amount of funds anyway that would pay for our fees. If you're looking to put your practice up for sale and use the whole VBA service, what we would charge them would be a commission based rate on the final sales figure. Well, when you get your final offer, it's the package you look at. It will depend partly on how you set up your practice, whether you're a limited company or whether you're a sole trader. But at the end, it's the package that matters. And the package is the actual final amount you would end up with. And also, in fact, the terms, if you're the landlord, how you'd set up the property, if you're leasing that back to the corporate company. And similarly as well, the terms of employment that you would take if you were employed by the corporate company. So you've got to look at the whole package, plus you must look at the tax consequences of the offer as well. If you'd like to discuss the sale of your practice, please call. You're under no obligation, and the discussion will be treated in strict confidence.